And so I worked on this book, you know, for so long, and then it came out. And it itself is a collaboration, you know, with many people. Although Rosianna Rojas, who named the book, gave it its title, is here today. It would be called something else, probably something worse if it were for Rosie. But you know, there are thousands of collaborators. All of you who emailed me to ask me what happens after the end of Looking for Alaska are collaborators in The Fault in Our Stars in some way, because I tried to answer your questions through the alcoholic misanthrope Peter Van Houten. Not that you're driving me mad with that question, but it was a collaboration, but it didn't really come to life for me until it came out. And suddenly people were reading it and talking to me about it and talking to each other about it, and people were making art and music, fan fiction about this world that up until then had mostly been mine. And so you have brought that to life for me, which is one of the great gifts that I've ever been given. And I hope that it feels like a gift to you, but I can tell you for sure that the life of this book feels like a gift to me. So I'm going to read a little bit from it, and then I'm going to bring on my brother Hank to sing songs. Can I borrow your copy? I figured, you know, everybody got one, so I could probably find one way or another. I'm going to move your ticket, but... Are you only that far in? Seriously though, are you only on page 26? It's okay, I'm not going to be mad at you. So you just started? Okay, I don't want to ruin anything for you. I was going to skip ahead, but now I'm not going to. I'm not going to ruin the book for you. I'm just going to read from the beginning. What's your name? Gemma? Yeah, we don't want to spoil it for Gemma. So I'm just going to read from the beginning. Glad there are people here who haven't already read it. I was a little worried about that. It's quite encouraging, Gemma, thank you. Late in the winter of my 17th year, my mother decided I was depressed, presumably because I rarely left the house, spent quite a lot of time in bed, read the same book over and over, ate infrequently, and devoted quite a bit of my abundant free time to thinking about death. Whenever you read a cancer booklet or website or whatever, they always list depression among the side effects of cancer. But in fact, depression is not a side effect of cancer. Depression is a side effect of dying. Cancer is also a side effect of dying. Almost everything is, really. By the way, off topic, a lot of people have taken issue with that line, but it is correct. It is factually correct. All diseases are a side effect of cell death. It is because cells have to reproduce that the genetic mutations that lead to them reproducing out of control that lead to cancer happen. If there were no such thing as death, there would be no such thing as cancer. If you don't believe me, ask zombies who cannot get cancer. I've always wanted to say that. Anyway, my mom believed I required treatment, so she took me to see my regular Dr. Jim, who insisted that I was veritably swimming in a paralyzing and totally clinical depression, and that therefore my meds should be adjusted, and also I should attend a weekly support group. The support group featured a rotating cast of characters in various states of tumor-driven unwellness. Why did the cast rotate? A side effect of dying. The support group, of course, was depressing as hell. It met every Wednesday in the basement of a stone-walled Episcopal church shaped like a cross. We all sat in a circle right in the middle of the cross, where the two boards would have met, where the heart of Jesus would have been. I noticed this because Patrick, the support group leader and only person over 18 in the room, talked about the heart of Jesus every freaking meeting. All about how we, as young cancer survivors, were sitting right in Christ's very sacred heart and whatever. So anyway, here's how it went in God's heart. The 6 or 7 or 10 of us walked/wheeled in, grazed at a decrepit selection of cookies and lemonade, sat down in the circle of trust, and listened to Patrick recount for the 1000th time. Is that a train?
Yes.
Is it coming to the museum to stay? Oh, the train line just goes by there. That's so cool. Did this, like, I wonder if this used to be, like, a train station, and then they were like, well, we've got the train, so let's just put the building on top of it.
It wasn't
brilliant. Swindon gets better and better every day. Right. So he sat down in the circle of trust and listened to Patrick recount for the 1000th time his depressingly miserable life story. How he had cancer in his balls and they thought he was going to die, but he didn't die, and now here he is, a full-grown adult in a church basement in the 137th nicest city in America, divorced, addicted to video games, mostly friendless, eking out a meager living by exploiting his cancer-tastic past, slowly working his way toward a master's degree that will not improve his career prospects, waiting, as we all do, for the sword of Damocles to give him the relief that he escaped woe those many years ago, when cancer took both of his nuts, but spared what only the most generous soul would call his life. And you too might be so lucky. Thanks. So I'm going to answer some of your questions about the Fault in Our Stars that I have here in my pocket a little bit later. But first, you know, the problem with these shows, and with book signings in general, is that authors don't actually have any talents. Can't dance, can't sing, the triple non-threat. But fortunately for me, I have a brother who is talented, thank God, because otherwise this stuff would be very boring. So it is now my pleasure to bring to the stage my little brother Hank, who, in addition to being most importantly my younger brother, is also a man of many accomplishments. He's the co-founder of DFTV Records and the Lizzie Bennett Diaries. He is also the founding editor of ecogeek.org. No need to applaud. It's a great environmental technology website, though, if you're into that kind of thing. He also co-founded the world's largest online video conference, VidCon. He invented... You guys all go to somewhere in the city, I guess. He invented 2D glasses, which render 3D movies in a crisp 2 dimensions. And he is also, believe it or not, a Billboard charting musician. Ladies and gentlemen, Hank Green.
About that Billboard thing. So the way that they do it is they have various charts. So they have like the chart, and then they have like the country chart and the rock chart, and those ones are hard to get on. And then there's something called the comedy chart, which there's just nobody competing for a spot. So if you put your song in that category, you can have someone say that about you without too much trouble. I started writing songs because I had a video blog and I didn't know how to keep people entertained. It was getting to be a bit much to just talk all the time, so I started writing songs. And I'm not entirely sure. I have a set list here, but I don't feel very faithful to it. I mean, she's nice and everything. I don't feel like we mesh yet. But we'll see if we get there. So I'm immediately going to cheat on her, actually. I've decided. This song is the first song that I ever wrote and put on the internet. And I don't know if I should sing it, because do British people even know who Helen Hunt is? Right? Kind of. Raise your hand if you know who Helen Hunt is. See, that's a lot fewer people who know who Leroy Williams is. Which I think Helen would be kind of sad about, but she'll handle it. Well, Helen Hunt is an actress, and when I was a young man, I loved her. So I wrote this song for her. Oh, shoot. Why would I ever deviate from the set list? Oh, come on. Where is it? Thanks, Catherine. First time I saw her was the day that I hit puberty. She played a beautiful girl, shunned by society. It wasn't her fault, she just smoked one laced doobie. That after-school special made me want to never do PCP. Oh, Helen Hunt, you make my heart do acrobatic stunts. You stand and face the brunt of the twister of my burning want. Helen Hunt, you know I'm mad about you. So Helen Hunt was movie called Twister and a TV show called Mad About You, and there's also lots of other Helen Hunt references that you just won't get, but that's okay. Well, I saw you naked in the water dips. It was as good as it gets in my pants, and for that I really want to thank you. Your husband's name was Hank, right? Well, my name is Hank too. Helen Hunt, you make my heart do acrobatic stunts. You stand and face the brunt of the twister of my burning one. Helen Hunt, you know I'm mad about you. Once an ex-best friend of mine, he said he couldn't see how an old and ugly actress could mean so much to me. Well, a minute later, looking down at him bleeding in the snow, I asked him, who is best comedy actress? 4 years in a row, it was Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt, you make my heart do acrobatic stunts. You stand and face the brunt of the twister of my burning what? Helen Hunt, you know I'm mad about you. I just saw that for the first time.